And welcome to the 20th episode of Ctrl Alt Deplete.
What?
Yeah! I am the very tired host, Buckblind, and on the right side of the screen is the tierless Bioshock. How's it going?
I don't get it.
Tierless. You have no tier.
Tier? Oh, no, I got tier.
You got like
I got
one piece at last second.
Yeah, I got 405.
No Iridius fragment though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
tragic.
Yeah, I'm doing good though.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it is our 20th episode, so congratulations to us on reaching 20 episodes. Yay.
Yeah. I feel like it feels like we haven't done 20, you know?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a break in between there, but yeah.
Yeah, we missed, I think we didn't do anything for like February or December.
Yeah, it was
or
a
November.
little bit of a break, but
January.
Oh, let's see. So, let's jump right into the news this week. The weekly affixes for this week, which the reset was today. It is tyrannical, incorporeal, and spiteful. Which everybody loves spiteful, unless you're
Which one's spiteful again?
That's the one where you guys all run for your lives after everything dies because you have bats chasing you. And I laugh because they don't go after the tank.
Yeah. That's why you die on spiteful when you're DPS. So
yes, I do, because I'm not used to that mechanic one bit. And then incorporeal is one of our new ones.
Yep.
And it is the affix where let's see here. It is the one where you have to do. Pull this up. You have ads that spawn, and they will continuously cast Destabilize, which will reduce player damage healing by 50%. Is that healing or damage?
That was damage.
This player damage healing. I don't know. Destabilizing reduces their. Okay. So it reduces both your damage and your healing. So you just need to CC them. Let's see. But yeah, CC, interrupt them. But if you interrupt it, that will they will just keep casting it. So you're gonna want like a cage or a paralysis or some kind of longer stun that you can use on them. I don't think you can kill them. I don't believe you can kill them.
I don't think so.
They can spawn on intervals of 45 seconds, and it's anywhere from 0 to 2. So you'll never have more than 2 at one time, and you might only get 1. You might not get any. But it'll be interesting to see. We haven't done any keys yet with that, but we'll probably do some later tonight. I don't know if we'll have that in there or not, because I think... Yeah, that'll be a level 7. So we'll probably have some. We'll probably have to deal with it tonight. We'll see it tonight and see what it's like.
Test it out, see what it's like.
But yeah, so those are the affixes. Tyrannical, not too bad. I think they've got the bosses tuned a lot better, which kind of brings us to our next topic here. The dungeon balancing and tuning that they've had so far for this season. What are your thoughts on it?
It's like night and day better than the first season.
Right? Yeah, I 100% agree.
I think they did a lot more testing on the PTR, and they started early enough where people could actually test it. I think it paid dividends.
Yeah, I think they learned from the first season where they had to nerf stuff like 20 times in a row.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. I think they learned from that, and the dungeons. I mean, if you're looking at when I looked at Radar.io earlier last week, if you look at like what's the highest key level that's been timed, almost I think all 8 dungeons were 21 or 22 when I looked at it. So that's a good variety. I know. I think the week before they had nerfed a couple of the dungeons a little bit. You had like 2 dungeons where it was like 17s and 18s were the highest, and 21, 22 was the highest for the others. But it seems like they're pretty well balanced. I feel like it's been nice for us because I mean we've been pumping out keys. It's been kind of nice because we haven't really been like, oh, we got this one as our next key. Oh, that's a dead key. Like none of the
Yeah.
dungeons feel like a dead key.
Like a 20 fortified ruby life pools.
Right. Yeah, and then let's say the boss tuning is definitely better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in season 1, and I've said this many times, it felt like on tyrannical weeks it took like 5 minutes to kill a boss, and on fortified weeks it took 3.5 minutes. Doesn't feel like that's the case this time.
Yeah, it's like the keys we were doing. I think when we were doing like that 14 freehold, I think the boss was live for like a minute 45, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that's on fortified, which is nice. I mean, bosses shouldn't live for a maximum of 2 minutes on fortified, unless you're playing pumping like level 20s and stuff. It will take longer then, but
yeah,
we were doing like 11s to 13s on a lot of our keys, and I mean, bosses are dying pretty quickly, so it's been nice. Tyrannical doesn't feel too bad. There's a couple bosses that I'm concerned about for this week, but we'll see. No, overall, I think they've done a pretty good job.
Now, I know this is in our notes, but I have a question for you. Do they ever plan on making it so you can get a full spark per week, or is it going to have the splinter system for the whole season?
Splinter system for the whole season. So you're going to have 10 sparks by the end of the season.
That's it?
Yep. That's what I was telling you. Make sure you save your sparks to recraft stuff. Now, it's not that big of a deal because when you look at it, the real thing you want the crafting for is embellishments. And you can only have 2 embellished items anyway, other than the food one. The food one counts as a free one. But most classes, I mean, you're only going to use 3 crafted items as your best in slot probably at top. Because you're going to have 4 to 5 pieces of tier. And then you're going to have, your trinkets are going to be there. Rings aren't going to be a crafted ring usually. The lariat, I don't think is going to be as strong this season. From what I've been reading, a lot of classes are saying that the lariat's not quite as strong. Weapons, usually you're going to find a better weapon, especially anybody who's using a one-handed weapon, probably going to be the Underrot weapon if it's an agility class. It's probably going to be your best in slot weapon. Just depends, but yeah, no, I feel like the crafted gear, if you get all your best in slot gear by the end of the season, you're probably looking at 3, maybe 4 pieces of crafted gear. And so with only having 10 sparks, and you only need like 8 to make sure that you can craft the original piece and then recraft it if you need to.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think it'll be too bad.
Oh, okay.
Now we have done some of the raids so far. We are 7 of 9 on normal, and 6 of 9 on LFR, only because only 6 bosses are out. But what are your thoughts?
Very easy.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
The Raid Finder is definitely good to get a sense of what the normal mechanics are.
Right.
But
and to give a shot at tier.
Yes. For us, though, we went to normal before looking for raids, so I learned the fights from you, explained them to me, but when we did LFR, it was like the mechanics were the exact same. The bosses are so much easier to kill. Yeah. But I like the bosses. I like that there's not like you can use like almost the same spec for most of the bosses. Maybe you have like 3 different specs throughout the raid, but I like the bosses. They're cool. The fights are very cool. They're different. I think it's just good. I'm looking forward to getting to those last 2 bosses, though. I think Neltharion is really interesting with the wall. Mm-hmm. And I think once people get the handle of what to do with the wall, that boss will die easily.
Yeah, once you don't have somebody in the raid that's telling everybody, don't break the walls, let the tanks do it.
Will get it.
But the tanks can't break the wall in the first phase, so...
Yeah.
Trap us all in there.
I give it a 1 or 2 weeks. I think most pugs will have that Neltharion down.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got to be a little bit easier than last raid first, because like when we were looking for groups, like the second week I think it was, like we were seeing groups of pug groups that are like on the last boss already. So,
there's a lot of groups that are already just going in and killing Sarkareth on normal and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so LFR is great for trying to get tier if you're scrambling to try to get tier right now. If you don't have your set, absolutely knock out LFR.
Yeah.
Because even if you get the piece, you can upgrade it to like 424, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I checked. Yeah, I could upgrade my pants that are 405 to 424. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's absolutely worth it.
Yes.
Normal, you can upgrade normal gear, I believe, to 437. So again, absolutely worth it going there and going into normal to try to get tier. If your guild is already pushing heroic, it's still probably worth it to spend the night going back and just go through normal if people don't have tier. I think, well, in combination, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into this part of it too, because it kind of ties into what we're talking about. But the upgrade system,
yes,
with the upgrade system that we've had, I think that helps make the raid, like the lower levels, more useful to go back and farm. Because of the fact that you can upgrade stuff so high, it makes it a lot easier, and I think it'll make it easier for people to go and get into normal pugs, because you're gonna have people with decent gear still probably going back and trying to get it if they don't have their tier set. So I think it's the upgrade system has been nice. What are your thoughts on the upgrade system?
I like it like a lot more than the first season. I think it's easier to upgrade your gear. It makes doing lower keys worth it again. Like even if you're doing if you're like pumping 20s, if you need to upgrade gear, you're gonna go back and do 9s.
Right.
And I think that's good for the game, because then you could have a really geared person join your 9 and just wreck and make the run really easy.
Yeah.
But I think I personally really like the crest. I like the fragments and how much you can get in a week or whatever.
Yep.
It's I like it a lot more, and I think it's a lot better.
Yeah. I think what's really nice with it is you can upgrade your gear without having to push the harder content, so it makes it a lot easier to get gear
and catch up.
And also, like we've talked about before, you don't have to worry about whether or not, let's say you get a weapon, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's your best in slot. Just go ahead and upgrade it, because once you get your best in slot, you can upgrade that weapon without spending any crests or anything, just half the cost of flight stones. Super quick and easy. I think one of the things that's also nice is it kind of makes those the 9s are kind of a sweet spot. Because right now, Drake Crest and Worm Crest for that veteran gear and champion gear, that's kind of what you need. But 9s will give you champion gear, so you can upgrade that all the way to 437, but 9s will still get you the Drake Crest. So 9s and 10s will get you the Drake Crest, and then you could do an 11 and get the fragments for the Worm Crest. So that right there is kind of your sweet spot, because you can get really good gear that you just upgrade later on. The only complaint I would have is that it does feel like flight stones are a bit harder to get than they probably should be. But you get 30 of them, I think, from each Mythic Plus dungeon. So you'll accumulate some, but I would guess flight stones are something they would consider making tradable on your account, later on in the season, probably with 10.1.5. Maybe we'll see something in there where you can, for 300 flight stones, you can buy a token that's worth 250 and send it to an ARC. I could see them doing something like that with the flight stones. I don't see anything like that happening with the crest, but I think the flight stones, you absolutely could do that.
I think they should up the amount of flight stones you get from dungeons.
I agree. I think 50 to 60 would be better.
Yeah. Because the dailies give an okay amount, but
the dailies barely give anything.
I got most of mine today. I got I made 800 just doing the campaign. I'm not even halfway done. So where I got the majority of my flight zones is from the campaign, and I wish that you could continue to get that amount late, when you're done the campaign, because it's just it drops off.
The best
how
place,
long it takes to get.
the best place that I've looked up and read about to get it from is the Pyrexx Assault, but
Oh, okay.
it's just a farm. I mean, it's and you're not getting
Oh,
much. You're getting like 10 every few minutes probably. So I mean, you'd have to
mm,
farm it for a few hours to get a decent amount. I
yeah,
did it for about 20 minutes and got bored. So I think I got like 30 in that time.
yeah,
I don't know. I do think they should be a little bit easier. Obviously, doing world quests and stuff. If you're doing world quests to get rep, that's great, and it's a good reason to do the world quests.
hmm,
To also get the flight stones, because you're gonna get, I think it's 9 flight stones, 8 or 9 per world quest that you do. Some of the world
I
quests will give you flight stones as well, so you can get a few extra
yeah,
ones. But
I did like there's a so I can find it. Yeah, there's a quest right now in the cavern that gives 24 flight stones for the daily.
right,
That's pretty cool.
yep,
But yeah, it's still not much. You would think that like 24 is really not a lot. I would like hope that dailies would do like 30, 35.
yeah. Yeah, I would like it to give it a little bit more and be a little bit easier to get those flight stones, but and they might change that. Who knows? We'll see. But
Yeah,
I mean, overall though, the upgrade system is really really well done. I really
yeah.
like it.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, it makes it so the lower level stuff is still worth doing. Like LFR is worth doing if you don't have tier. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can only upgrade to 224, but 224 is pretty good gear.
yeah. It's not
Um,
that bad.
but yeah, no, I think they did a really good job with it. The only downside would be the lack of flight stones, but I
Yeah,
think long term it won't be as big of a deal, especially if you can trade them across your account. That'll be helpful.
yeah.
Um, Also, we've been seeing something pop up in our chat a lot more
One
than we
just popped
thought
up
we did.
now. One literally just popped up.
Yeah, I think in the first like 30 minutes I was on tonight, I think I saw about 10 of them. So you want to explain what that is and go into detail on that?
So I don't know. I think people are getting it from normal and heroic mostly. On that's what I think. But yeah. So anyways, you get this message in game, and it just says like, let me scroll. I can get it. My chat's being weird. Anyway, so you get like an orange text in your chat tab, and it just basically says like something's happening at the top of the Aztec Tower or whatever, and it's just basically the evokers getting their legendary. And so I think like everybody's just getting that legendary. Like I, every evoker's gonna have it like in a week. Everyone's every evoker's gonna have it. It seems like it's just so easy to get for the amount of people the amount of time you see the messages is a lot. It's like a lot. Like
Yeah.
it was so much that I thought it was a an American server wide notice, not a server notice.
Yeah, no, it definitely, and I kind of brought it up earlier that maybe it's bugged. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think
I
just
don't think so either.
I think it's just a lot of people are getting it. Because what Blizzard said was that it has a very low chance to drop from LFR. It would be extremely rare from LFR with the rarity increasing slightly for each level.
Yeah,
But it feels like it's almost like 50% chance to drop or so. I mean, probably not quite that high. It also could just be that with the raid being easier, you have a lot more people clearing it, so more opportunities to get it. I don't know, but yeah, no, we're seeing. I mean, literally, you can't go more than about 5-10 minutes without seeing one get made right now,
yeah.
which is
Some
it's great, But yeah, it's interesting because I did not expect it to be that often.
it's it's not OP for the evoker. I'll just state that now. It's not. It might be best for raid and like Mythic Plus, but like how it works for your team is why it makes it so good. It doesn't do anything for the evoker other than just stats.
Right.
Um, so basically, it does it whenever you use like an empowered ability, and you have Eternity Surge and Fire Breath to do that. It sends a sphere out going to a target in your group and increasing their primary stat by 500 for 10 seconds. So I mean, that's really nice for a teammate, but I'm pretty sure that the evoker cannot get that orb himself. I'm pretty sure in the weapon it says it goes to a teammate.
Interesting.
So now, it's not like a broken legendary by any means. I mean, it might be. I don't know. I don't know how it sims to other people, but for the Evoker itself, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's OP. Maybe for the group it is, but not for Evoker.
Right. Now, speaking of Evoker, there have been some PTR changes, and we're just going to focus on the Augmentation Evoker because we talked about it a lot last week. So you want to take us through the changes, just a couple of the changes there?
Yeah, so I'll go to the top. So Sands of Time is a talent basically that when you're using a powered ability, it extends the duration to Ebb and Might, which you put on like targets to increase their damage. So it went from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. The deep breath value at Ebb and Might has been reduced a little bit. Breath of Eons, the one that collects damage, I thought it was 20%, maybe, and then now it's 15%, so it's a little bit of a nerf. They did increase the cooldown from 1.5 to 2 minutes, so that time skip really helps too, though, to bring it back. Because
Gotcha.
I tested on the PTR that time, the one time skip, and it with the talent for 3 seconds is roughly about a 40 seconds off of your cooldowns. So that's still pretty good. Chrono Ward, which is that shield that Breath of Eons puts on people when they do damage, used to be like 100% of their damage, so they get a huge shield. They now made it so it can't go above 30% of your maximum health. So it's still strong, but it's a big nerf. They just changed the position on the Town of Dream of Spring, which is not a big deal. It's not the greatest. Interwoven threads that cool on your abilities, like so that the time skip one that adds 1 second onto the channel.
Okay.
There's the other talent that was just straight up reduced your cooldowns by 15%.
Gotcha.
They reduced that to 10%. So just kind of balancing it out.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Almost done here. Sorry, some of these spells are kind of new to me. There's this ability called Motes of Possibility, and Essence abilities have a chance to form a mote of diverted time near you. Anyone who comes in contact with that gains 10 seconds of reduced cooldown to their major abilities. So that's just kind of like, it puts like souls or healing spheres, mugs demon hunters have. It kind of does that, and then it just reduces cooldowns when you walk through it, which is interesting. I'll skip some of the other stuff. That time skip, they changed the wording of it, but it's still the exact same. Ebb and Might duration was reduced to 2 seconds, or by 2 seconds from 3 for that one as well. And then the last one for PvP talents is that when you had Ebb and Might up, which I don't know, was like 8 seconds, I think, it reduced the cast time of Living Flame to make it instant, so you could just spam it in PvP. But they reduced it, so it's like reduces the casting time by 100%. So I don't know if that's instant or just like really fast. Now I don't know what the change is. That I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Which one was that again?
It's called Born in Flame.
Born in Flame.
Other PvP talents. It just says like reduce the cast time 100%. So I mean, if it was 2 seconds, would it go to 1 second? Is that how that works?
No, I think it's just a rewording, honestly. It's the same effect, just a rewording.
Okay.
If it reduces the cast time by 100%, that is essentially making it instant cast. So yeah, I think it's just a rewording of it.
Okay, yeah, they reworded a couple of spells too, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the general for Evokers, there's just 2 more changes. Fire Breath is like AoE that does the dot or the straight up damage depending on how long you channel it for. Is doing reduced damage beyond 5 targets for augmentation. It's also making it so the Ebb and Might goes down to 2 seconds instead of 3, because like when you use like an empowered spell, it would increase Ebb and Might on your target. So they're just kind of nerfing that in general to bring it down a little bit. Then the PvP talent, which is new, called Dreamwalker's Embrace. Verdant's Embrace, which is the ability you collect to fly to an ally and heal them. Now increases movement speed by 40%. And if you do it through an enemy, then they will be tethered and damaged for 50% of spell power and slowed by 50% for 3 seconds. And that's the changes for Evoker.
Nice. Yeah, we had a few other class changes for PTR stuff. They did a little bit of a small buff to like Guardian Druid. There's tons of changes for Fire Mage and mages in general. Tons. We're not going to go through them because it's being reworked. Same with Holy Pally and Priest. They're doing reworks on a lot of stuff. Yeah. So a lot of that has been changed, and it's going to continue changing constantly. Let's see. Yeah, there's not really anything for the specs that we have been playing right now. Other than, I guess for you, Balanced Druid had a Astral Smolder duration was reduced to 6 seconds. Yeah. But no, not a ton of changes other than the stuff that's getting a lot of reworks. I'm sure we'll get more tuning later on as we go.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more tuning for sure. I think the tuning for augmentation is just the beginning. I still think they're going to buff some stuff and nerf some other stuff.
Right. The other thing that is coming in 10.1.5, we've touched on this a little bit. We haven't really gone into detail on it. Dawn of the Infinite Megadungeon. That is going to be the new Megadungeon in 10.1.5. It's going to be dealing with, I'm guessing, the Infinite Dragonflight. This is what it sounds like. We're going to have Chromie in it. We're going to have Galakrond's going to be in it. Tyr's going to be in it.
I think Galakron's head is in it.
Yeah, it's the blight of Galakron. Yeah, we'll go into that here in a second. Galakron's making an appearance. You got Morchi, which is the evil Chromie. Tyr's going to be in it. Iridikron is going to be in it, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure Iridikron's one of the primals that we're facing right now. I could be wrong on that, but Iridikron is...
And the time...
Yeah, he's one of the 4 primal incarnates. So
I think
that's interesting.
What I was reading is the fight time lost battlefield is like kind of like a battle for Mount Hyjal, I think. I don't know if it's like not the whole dungeon of the raid, but I mean like how you fight off like Horde or Alliance at certain points. I think because they're bringing back one of the orcs. I want to say Grom. I'm not sure. I saw his model in the patch notes where they had like different. It changed his look, and it was in the game files or whatever. That in the next patch he's like green this time or something.
So that particular one is like an alternate Azeroth, essentially. An alternate timeline. So you have it. So basically, what I was seeing is based off the models, what they feel like is going on is basically the Alliance is. Well, the Alliance and Horde are both much more extremist versions of themselves. So like the Alliance is in that alternate timeline is basically what would have happened if like the Scarlet Crusade had won out and the Silver Hand hadn't come up and stopped them. So it's like a much more religious zealot type alliance. And the Horde is more of a
like a primal.
Still more, they're more tribal and still more of like a war band rather than
war driven.
Than what we're used to. But yes, Gromish Hellscream does have a new model where he's still, I think he was always green.
And WoD they had the,
in WoD he was in WoD he wasn't because he wasn't. It was he didn't take the fell. But yes, he is coming back for that one in the Time Lost Battlefield. So yes, you are correct on that. And Anduin Lothar is going to be the champion of the Alliance, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So we've got a lot of different. We've got the map for it, which looks pretty cool. The artwork looks really neat on the the map. I don't feel like I've seen maps looking like that, honestly.
Yeah, you can
that
see like
first one.
different. What, the one that says Dawn of the Infinite?
Yeah, like that main artwork for that first part. I feel like that's kind of a new thing.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
if you kind of scroll down to the
Yeah, you've got
pictures, you
the
can see,
different maps.
you see Galakron's head in the
Yes,
one.
I know. I saw that. I love it.
That's massive.
Oh yeah. Well, Galakron is massive.
Was he bigger than Deathwing?
Oh
Definitely,
yes,
right?
yes, way bigger. So if you go to Dragonblight and Northrend, the big giant skeleton, that is Galakron.
Yeah.
That like takes up half the map.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna guess that the bottom right one, is probably the battle, because you've got like a clear horde hut and an alliance outpost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna guess that's probably what that is. Could be wrong.
I think you're right, because you can see like the color and like the structure of the buildings.
Yeah. But yeah, no, these all look really cool. The maps look interesting. Definitely could be it should be hopefully a good, exciting dungeon.
Do you know if they're doing what they did in Shadowlands and having just the mega dungeons as the last season of dungeons?
They haven't said anything yet, so there's no telling. I don't think it's gonna be just mega dungeons. I think we'll see. My guess is that we will see probably one of these, like, because they'll split up this, because you got 8 bosses, so they're gonna split it up 4 and 4.
Two.
So there's gonna be two versions of it. I'm guessing you'll have one half in season 3, the other half in season 4, and then probably do maybe 2 to 3 dungeons from current. Probably like whichever was the least popular from season 1. They'll put in, or who knows, maybe they'll mix it up and they'll have like a couple of the dungeons from season 1 and a couple dungeons from season 2 will be in there, and then you'll have some new old ones. I don't see them doing just a full-on mega dungeon one, because they already did that. It feels like it'd be a little weird to go back and do that again.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they end up doing. It'll be interesting. You want to take us through the bosses that we have for the mega dungeon?
Yeah.
Just the list of bosses.
We kind of touched on it a little bit. So we have Chronicar. Like I don't really know much of these characters except for Tyr and Morchi and Chrono Lord, but Chronicar, I'm not sure who that is, but that would be the first boss. Then Manifested Time Ways, I'm not sure what that entitles. We have Blighted Galakron, which is probably just dragons of his spawn or whatever, I don't know. Iridicron, the Stone Scaled, and he's one of the main 4, right?
Yes, Iridicron is one of the 4 primals, which so I find it really interesting that he's in this.
Right. Then we have Morchi, the bad Chromie.
Yes, I'm looking at the character model of her, and she actually looks pretty badass.
Do you want to send it to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Cool. Then we have Tyr, the Infinite Keeper, which is cool. Tyr's really cool. The Timeless Battlefield, which we kind of touched on, and Chronolord Deos.
Yeah.
And
which
he's the last boss in Ulduman right now. What does that mean? Does that mean like this mega dungeon, is that just a different universe or like timeline?
Yeah, well, so that's this whole dungeon is the infinite timeline, is the infinite dragonfly. So we're going to be going all throughout time.
Okay, so
that's why it could be back in time, could be forward in time, could be alternate timelines. There's really no limit with this dungeon, as to what we're doing.
Yeah, I only bring that out because the Iridicron could still potentially be in a future raid.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious because he's never been involved in the infinite timeline as far as I know, so it's interesting to see why he's in this.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So those are the bosses.
Here, let me link this in the notes real quick, and you can take a look at the character models. It's number 9 there. in the notes. Because that Chronicar looks pretty cool looking too.
Chronicar looks really cool.
Yeah, I really like that.
Unicron.
Yep.
Tyr looks cool.
Yeah, Tyr, I can't
More
wait.
Tyr.
I can't wait for Tyr. Tyr's one of my favorite characters in WoW.
Morchi's like a goth chromie.
Yes, it looks awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I mean, I think this could be a really, really interesting and fun dungeon to do.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, one last thing.
Yep.
Before we close out, is they're potentially bringing back that mount, the Tyrael's Charger. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So that could potentially come back in the trading post soon.
Yep.
We'll see.
Also, there is, as you were telling me earlier this week, there is a what is it called? In the featured section of the WoW shop, there's the Guardian pack that gives you what is it?
Staff.
The staff,
the staff,
helm,
and the cloak.
And the cloak that are all Medivh's equipment
Stuff. Yeah.
It's $8 US dollars. And it is available for about 6 more days, but it is coming into the trading post sometime between September 1st and December 31st. So near the end of fall and winter, we will have that available in trading posts. So that's when I will pick that up probably because it does look pretty cool, and I do love Medivh.
Yeah. One thing that was announced, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, and this has nothing to do for us. But in Wrath Lich King, they are now selling gold tokens.
Yes, I did see that. They're also about to have a 50% XP bonus event in Wrath as well.
Oh, okay.
No, I will not be speedrunning that.
I would say 50% still takes a long time.
Yeah, that's probably a 2-day grind.
Yeah.
That's at least that would at least be 24 hours, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I do not have the energy right now to even think about trying to do a speed run for 24 hours.
Yeah.
We will be having a speed run on retail here in a few weeks. Let me look at the calendar and see when that will likely be. Depending on my work schedule, that will either be May 4th or May 9th. It just depends on when I get switched back to my schedule. But yeah, once I know what's going on with that, I'll set a more permanent date, and that should be a very fast speed run because we will have oh wait, no, we don't have that for this month. That's next month. No, what? Is that this one? Hang on, when is yeah, I think that is this month. When is the Diablo 4 event? And WoW. That is going to be... Oh, it starts tomorrow. So yes. Yes, so that'll be this next speed run. We should have 50% experience bonus. So also, on that note, you guys have alts that you need to level up. Do it now. So tomorrow. Tomorrow you get 50% XP bonus for like 2 weeks, basically. So go in there, get that done. Because that'll be very, very helpful. 3 weeks. I think maybe it's 3 weeks. It's about how long it's going to last for. So go level up your alts. Lynch, talking to you, buddy. Do level up your alts, man. You got everything at 60 still. Normally you'd have everything max level already. This is the time. You got 2 weeks, 50% bonus XP.
The time is now.
You can get Dragonflights. You can get 60 to 70 done with crafting, and then with actual leveling, you can get that done in like 3 hours maximum.
Yeah. If it was us doing our speed run, it would take 2 hours.
Yeah, well, if we did the crafting stuff first, it'd probably only be an hour and a half. Like I'm thinking on my speed run, I'm thinking
6 hours.
Hour and 45 minutes for the Dragonflight is what it should take me. Probably less, maybe even less than that.
What do you think is going to be your overall time, if you had to guess?
I would say 6
hours.
I would say 6 hours is probably what I'm looking at. Is what I'm gonna guess. That's my goal. If we can hit 5 hours, that'd be amazing. But I don't know if 5 hours is gonna be really hard. But we'll see. I
mean, I did it in 5.5.
Oh yeah, sure you did. Yeah, you did. You picked your character out in 5.5 hours, and finally picked this class, and then you spent the next 5 hours picking what spec you're gonna play. But yeah, so I guess we're kind of in our week in WoW now. So
yeah.
So I'll just go ahead and do mine first and let you go second this time. Yeah, so I'll be prepping for speedrun here in a couple weeks. But yeah, no, this past week pretty much did a lot of dungeons. Really enjoyed the dungeons. We've been pumping them out like crazy. I know I've been kind of pushing us on those. Just like, which generation? We got these 3? All right, we're doing this one. Like, not even. Yeah, no. I'm not giving you guys a break. We're pumping these keys out as quickly as we can because it's just there's no bad key. I feel like probably the worst dungeon is Vortex Pinnacle, and it's not hard. It's just boring. One thing, this is something we talked about as well, but one reason I think you don't have a bad dungeon is there's nothing that's a 45-minute timer like you had with the other side and other dungeons. There's no super long dungeon. They're all pretty quick. So that's been nice. But yeah, no, we've just been knocking key after key after key. I bet I've done 30 keys already these first 2 weeks easily. Actually, I know I've done 30 because I've done at least 10 on my Demon Hunter both weeks, and I did 2 on the one on the Monk and one on the Pally the first week, and I did at least 4 on each of them this past week. So yeah, I know I've done at least 30 keys easily.
I've only done keys on 4 tunes. And only 1 on Hunter, but like my 3 that I've done the most on have been my Druid, my Evoker, and my Rogue. So those 3, and I did 8 for Rogue, 8 for Evoker, 8 for Druid, and 1 for Hunter. I did quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I think my Demon Hunter's up to 423 item level now. I've got my best in slot trinket. I've got my second best in slot trinket. I've got 3 pieces of tier. I've gotten very, very lucky with loot so far. It's been a really good run. Still don't have my best in slot weapon, but we'll get there. That's a bunch of underrots, which I don't really look forward to running underrot this week, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So what about you? Your week in WoW? I know you touched up a little bit there, but
just mythics, just I did one of my hunters just had 1 chance at the key. Not saying I'm really gonna play it. I was just kind of wanted to see if I could get some tier, but the 3 that I've been playing the most have been a Rogue, Druid, and Evoker. I haven't really touched my Evoker much this week because I was just kind of waiting for the new spec to test it out. But I've been enjoying my Assassination Rogue and my Pharaoh Druid quite a bit, and that's what I've been doing most of my keys on.
Yep. We'll be doing a couple more keys tonight before I head to sleep. We'll see how many we get in, but yeah. No, it's been a fun season so far. I'm liking it.
Yep, me too.
Hopefully it stays that way. We got Lynch is back, Jared is back, so that's gonna be nice having them for some of the keys.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think you got anything else?
Nope.
Me neither. I think that's about it then. So if you want to check out our socials, I've got my Twitch is twitch.tv/Buckblind. YouTube is Buckblind the Demon Hunter. Twitter is @BuckblindDH. I've been streaming on all 3 platforms. Well, I guess not Twitter, but I've been streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live. So you can catch my streams on those. I normally announce it on Twitter when I do go live, so you can always check on there. Follow me on Twitch. You'll get notifications. But yeah, I've been doing that the last couple of streams, and that's been working out well.
Yeah.
And then, what are your socials?
Twitch and YouTube is QQ_Bioshock. And I've been streaming more often, and so yeah, I'll continue to keep streaming, try and keep it more regular.
Usually Wednesday through Saturday, he usually is streaming while I harass him in the chat while I'm at work. So always a good time.
Yep.
You can. I notice he's got his light on. It's because he's scared of the dark because he's a Canadian. All Canadians are scared of the dark. We know that's to be fact.
Yeah.
But
I hate the dark.
Oh, but yes, I think that's about all we got. Somewhat
Mm,
short podcast this week, but there's not a whole lot going on. Just pumping keys out and getting geared up.
yep. Yep.
So keep on pushing all those keys, guys. Have fun and enjoy the season because it's been a good season. I like it. I think it'll be a good
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Oh, one last note: they have confirmed that the current upgrade system we will have some form of that in season 3. That is
Cool.
confirmed. They're going to make some changes, such as the fragments and the crests are going to they're going to try to make those in the currency tab instead of taking space in your bags, and potentially having something where you can take the higher crests and turn them into lower crests, so you don't have to go back and do the lower keys all the time. But I don't know if that's what I've heard. I haven't looked at it myself, but
yeah.
Anyway, we'll probably get more info on that and update you as we hear news and information on it.
Yep.
But thank you all for watching. Baya, got anything else to say?
Nope.
Nothing? All right. Y'all have a great one. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you for episode 21.
Bye.